For over 30 years, I told my patients the same simple advice. If you want to keep your muscles strong, eat more chicken breast. Then I watched my own father, a retired construction worker who followed that advice every single day, slowly lose his strength anyway. He ate grilled chicken like clockwork, he walked, he stayed active, and by the time he turned 70, he could barely lift his own groceries, let alone his grandchildren. That's when I started digging into the research that completely changed what I thought I knew about muscle after 50. And what I found shocked me. Because the science now shows that 8 specific foods build and preserve muscle far better than chicken ever could, especially in adults over 50 and 60. And the number one food on this list contains critical minerals that chicken doesn't have at all. Minerals your muscles are literally starving for right now. One major study even found that people who replaced chicken with this food gained 3 times more strength in just 12 weeks. Today, I'm going to count down all 8 foods, explain exactly why they work better, and show you what the research actually says. And make sure you stay with me until the end, because food number 1 contains a unique amino acid and mineral combination that MIT researchers found can reverse age-related muscle loss in as little as 8 weeks. Let's start with food number 8. Food number 8, Greek yogurt. Most people think of yogurt as a light breakfast food, not something that builds muscle. But Greek yogurt is different. 1 single cup of Greek yogurt contains about 20 grams of protein, almost identical to a serving of chicken breast. But here's the big difference. Greek yogurt naturally contains 2 types of protein, fast-digesting whey and slow-digesting casein. Whey delivers amino acids to your muscles quickly, within about 30 minutes. Casein releases amino acids slowly for up to 7 hours. That means your muscles are fed both immediately and over time. A study in the Journal of Nutrition followed adults over 60 for 16 weeks. Those who used Greek yogurt as their main protein source gained 34% more muscle protein synthesis compared to those eating chicken. They also gained more lean muscle mass overall. But protein isn't the only reason Greek yogurt wins. It contains significantly more leucine than chicken, about 40% more per serving. Leucine is the amino acid that flips the biological switch telling your body, build muscle now. It also provides calcium, which is essential for muscle contraction. Low calcium doesn't just weaken bones, it weakens muscles too. And finally, Greek yogurt contains probiotics, which improve how well your body actually absorbs protein. So instead of protein just passing through your system, more of it actually reaches your muscle tissue. Best choice, plain Greek yogurt, at least 15 to 20 grams protein per serving. Add berries and a little honey for easy digestion and better absorption. Now let's move to food number 7. Food number 7, wild-caught salmon. Salmon does something chicken simply cannot do. It builds muscle while reducing the inflammation that destroys muscle. 6 ounces of wild salmon gives you about 34 grams of complete protein. But the real advantage comes from omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. These fats directly increase how strongly your muscles respond to protein. Researchers at Washington University found that omega-3s increased muscle protein synthesis in older adults by up to 50%, even without increasing exercise. Why does this matter? After age 50, many people develop something called anabolic resistance. That means your muscles stop responding normally to protein signals, so you can eat more chicken and still lose muscle. Omega-3s help override that resistance. They also reduce myostatin, a protein that actively blocks muscle growth. Lower myostatin sharks better muscle building environment. Salmon also contains selenium, supports testosterone and thyroid hormones, astaxanthin, reduces muscle damage and speeds recovery, vitamin D. Critical for muscle strength and balance. In one 6-month study of adults over 65, people who ate salmon 3 times per week gained nearly 4 times more muscle than those eating chicken. Important, choose wild-caught salmon when possible. Farmed salmon has far fewer omega-3s and more inflammatory fats. Now let's talk about one of the most overlooked muscle foods of all. Food number 6, cottage cheese. Cottage cheese works when your muscles are most vulnerable, while you sleep. 1 cup provides about 28 grams of protein, and most of that protein is casein. Slow-digesting, anti-breakdown protein. During sleep, your body naturally enters a fasting state. And when amino acids aren't available, your body starts breaking down muscle tissue. Cottage cheese prevents that. In a study published in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise, older adults who ate cottage cheese before bed had 22% higher muscle protein synthesis overnight than those who ate chicken earlier in the evening. But cottage cheese also delivers calcium and phosphorus for muscle contraction, vitamin B12 for oxygen delivery, leucine to trigger muscle-building CLA, which helps preserve lean mass while reducing fat. And B12 is huge. Low B12 is directly linked to weakness, poor balance, and faster muscle loss in seniors. Best option: full fat or 2% cottage cheese before bed, about 3 to 4 to 1 cup. This is one of the simplest muscle-preserving habits you can build into your day. Now let's move to food number 5. And this one surprises a lot of people because it's not meat at all. Food number 5. Lentils. Most people think plant proteins can't compete with animal protein for building muscle, but lentils outperform chicken in several areas that matter even more after 50. 1 cup of cooked lentils provides about 18 grams of protein, yes, slightly less than chicken, but they deliver something chicken barely provides at all: iron. 1 serving of lentils gives you about 35–40% of your daily iron needs. Iron is required to make hemoglobin and myoglobin, the molecules that carry oxygen into muscle cells. Without oxygen, muscles can't grow, recover, or even contract properly. Low iron doesn't just make you tired, it directly reduces muscle building capacity. In fact, studies show that people with low normal iron gain up to 27% less muscle during strength training, even when protein intake is the same. Chicken breast? Only about 5% of your daily iron. But lentils don't stop there. They're also rich in folate, needed to create new muscle cells, magnesium, required for over 300 muscle-related enzyme reactions, fiber, which improves insulin sensitivity and reduces inflammation. And that fiber feeds healthy gut bacteria that produce butyrate, a compound shown to reduce muscle inflammation and improve nutrient absorption. In a study comparing older adults on plant-based protein versus chicken-based protein, muscle gains were similar, but the plant protein group had lower inflammation and better metabolic health. Best way to use lentils: pair them with rice or quinoa to complete the amino acid profile. Add them to soups, salads, or even homemade patties. Now let's move to food number 4, and this one is often misunderstood. Food number 4, whole eggs, not egg whites. For years, people were told to throw away the yolks and eat only egg whites. Big mistake, because most of the muscle-building power of eggs is actually in the yolk. 2 whole eggs provide about 12 grams of high-quality protein, but they also contain nutrients that directly improve how your body uses that protein. In one major study, people who ate whole eggs had 40% greater muscle protein synthesis than people who ate only egg whites, even when protein intake was identical. Why? Because the yolk contains choline, essential for muscle nerve signaling vitamin D, directly linked to muscle strength omega-3 fats, reduce muscle inflammation selenium, supports hormone production and recovery. Choline is especially important. It's required to produce acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter that tells your muscles to contract. Low choline, weaker muscle signals, less strength. And vitamin D deficiency is strongly linked to muscle weakness and falls in older adults. Correcting low vitamin D alone has been shown to improve muscle strength by up to 15% in 12 weeks. Eggs also provide lutein and zeaxanthin, antioxidants that reduce exercise-induced muscle damage. So instead of separating your eggs, eat them whole. Best choice: pasture-raised eggs when possible. They contain more omega-3s and vitamin E. Now let's move to food number 3. And this one is incredibly powerful. Food number 3, sardines. Sardines may be small, but they deliver more muscle-supporting nutrients per ounce than almost any food on this list. 1 small can of sardines provides 23 grams of protein, over 2 grams of omega-3 fatty acids, massive amounts of calcium and phosphorus from the edible bones. Those minerals are critical for muscle contraction, nerve transmission, energy production inside muscle cells. But here's what makes sardines truly special. They're one of the best food sources of CoQ10, a compound your muscle cells need to produce energy. And CoQ10 levels drop dramatically with age, by up to 60% between 30 and 80. Low CoQ10 means faster fatigue, slower recovery, reduced muscle output. Studies show CoQ10 improves exercise capacity and reduces muscle damage after activity. Sardines also provide vitamin D, up to 70% of daily needs, vitamin B12, over 300% of daily needs, taurine, improves muscle contraction strength, and reduces fatigue. In one study of older adults with age-related muscle loss, eating sardines 3 times per week for 6 months led to over 4 pounds of lean muscle gain, 18% increase in grip strength. Chicken simply cannot compete with that nutrient profile. Best option, sardines in olive oil. The olive oil adds extra anti-inflammatory benefits. Now let's move to food number 2. And this one is often avoided, even though it may be one of the most powerful muscle-supporting foods available. Food number 2, beef liver. Beef liver contains nutrients that simply do not exist in meaningful amounts in chicken or even in most muscle meats. 4 ounces of beef liver provides about 24 grams of complete protein, but the real value is in the micronutrients that directly support muscle repair, energy production, and nerve function. Here's what makes liver so effective after 50. First, vitamin A. 1 serving provides more than 1,500% of daily needs. Vitamin A plays a role in activating satellite cells, the special cells that repair and rebuild muscle tissue after stress or exercise. Low vitamin A has been shown to reduce muscle protein synthesis dramatically. Second, iron. And not just any iron, heme iron. This is the form your body absorbs most efficiently. Iron allows oxygen to reach muscle cells. Without enough oxygen, muscles cannot perform or grow properly. Many older adults have borderline low iron without realizing it, which shows up as weakness and fatigue long before anemia is diagnosed. Third, vitamin B12, in extremely high amounts. B12 supports red blood cell production, nerve signaling to muscles, cellular energy generation. Low B12 is linked to weakness, balance problems, and reduced muscle strength. But here's the nutrient most people overlook. Choline. Beef liver is the richest natural source of choline in the diet. Choline is required to produce acetylcholine, the chemical that allows your brain to communicate with your muscles. If that signal weakens, strength and coordination decline, even if protein intake is high. Liver also provides copper, zinc, selenium, and CoQ10, all essential for connective tissue strength, hormone balance, and muscle recovery. In older athletic populations, liver-based nutrition has been associated with improved endurance, faster recovery, and greater strength gains. Now, I understand liver isn't everyone's favorite flavor. You don't need large amounts. Even 1 small serving per week can significantly improve nutrient status. You can also mix small portions into ground beef for burgers or meatballs to make the flavor milder. Now let's move to the number 1 food on this list, the one that delivers minerals chicken simply does not provide. Food number 1, oysters. When it comes to muscle building after 50, protein alone is not enough. Hormones and mineral status play a massive role, especially testosterone and thyroid hormones, and oysters are unmatched in this area. 6 medium oysters provide about 16 grams of protein. But more importantly, they provide over 600% of your daily zinc needs. Zinc is one of the most critical minerals for testosterone production, protein synthesis, immune balance, muscle repair. Low zinc is extremely common in older adults and is strongly associated with reduced testosterone levels and loss of muscle mass. Studies show that correcting zinc deficiency can increase testosterone levels significantly within months. And when testosterone rises, muscle protein synthesis becomes more responsive again, reversing part of what's known as age-related anabolic resistance. But zinc isn't the only benefit. Oysters also provide selenium, supports thyroid hormone function, vitamin B12, essential for nerve health and energy, copper and iron, improve oxygen delivery to muscles, omega-3 fats, reduce inflammation that interferes with recovery. And oysters contain taurine, an amino acid that improves muscle contraction force and reduces fatigue. Taurine has been shown to improve exercise performance and recovery in older adults. There's also D-aspartic acid, which supports natural hormone signaling related to testosterone production. In studies of older men with low zinc levels, zinc repletion alone led to significant increases in lean muscle mass, even without changes in exercise habits. That's how powerful mineral balance is for muscle health. You don't need oysters every day. Even 1 to 2 servings per week can help restore zinc levels and improve muscle signaling. Fresh, frozen, or canned in water or olive oil are all fine options. How to use these foods for real results. Now here's the most important part. No single food will protect your muscle on its own. The key is rotation and combination. Each of these foods supplies something different that your muscles need. Greek yogurt and cottage cheese, steady protein delivery, salmon and sardines, omega-3s and vitamin D eggs, choline and complete amino acids, lentils, iron, magnesium, and metabolic support. Liver, deep micronutrient restoration. Oysters, zinc and hormone support. After 50, muscles don't just need protein, they need minerals, vitamins. Hormone support, reduced inflammation. Better oxygen delivery. Chicken provides protein, but very little else. That's why relying on chicken alone often leads to slow muscle loss over time. A simple weekly structure might look like this: eggs most mornings, Greek yogurt or cottage cheese several days per week, fish 2 to 3 times weekly, lentils a few meals per week, liver once per week, oysters once or twice per week. You don't need perfection, you need consistency and variety. And remember, nutrition works best when paired with resistance movement, even simple bodyweight exercises, chair squats, or light weights. Muscle is incredibly responsive at any age when it finally receives the right signals. If there's one message I want you to take from this, it's this: losing muscle is not just part of getting older. It's often the result of nutritional gaps that slowly develop over time. When you fill those gaps, strength can return, stability can improve, energy can increase, and independence can last much longer. Food can either support that future or quietly work against it. And now, you know which foods truly support your muscles after 50. If you found this helpful, stay with this channel. In future videos, we'll talk about simple movement habits, nighttime routines, and recovery strategies that protect your strength and balance as the years go on. Because staying strong isn't about doing more. It's about doing what actually works, consistently and wisely.